Hello, welcome to DayMaster Deposit LPT with Dr. B. I'm Dr. B. I want you to make sure you go to the bio and click the link for YouTube to watch the full video clip of this deposit. Today, I want to talk to you about looking for answered prayer. We're always in expectation of answered prayer. When we pray, we believe we have it, and we're always in expectation of answered prayer. But oftentimes we miss the answered prayer because we're not looking for how it shows up. It doesn't often show up how we expect it to show up. But oftentimes, what happens when we pray, and God answers our prayer, we see it in the situations that are connected to the things we pray for. When we pray and ask God for more patience to deal with our children, our family members, our job, our boss, or our employees, and we ask God, Lord, just give me more patience. We expect more patience to just drop in. But the way we know that God is answering our prayer for more patience is because we end up with more situations that require patience. And we don't really realize that God is answering and has answered our prayer and that our patience is increasing because the things that are buffeting us, irritating us, is increasing. But if we would remove ourselves from that current irritation and go back to the previous irritation, we will find that we are not as irritated as we used to feel when these types of things happen, as we used to feel when these types of things happen. So when you pray, expect and believe that God is answering your prayer, but also learn to look for these answered prayers. It's the same as looking for God's direction concerning your purpose, because oftentimes your purpose is tied to the prayers you pray and the answered prayer. So when you are praying for more peace, understand that God answering you for more peace is really not the same as the cessation, the stopping of turmoil. It's peace in the midst of what's going on. That's what real peace is. The cessation of turmoil or noise is solitude. It's not peace. Peace is learning how to absent yourself in the midst of the confusion. So when you ask God for more peace, oftentimes there seems to be a rise in confusion or turmoil that teaches you how to go to your inner self, to your core, to God, your spirit, and to experience peace. And this is how God begins to move on you. When you're asking God for direction and what you should do and what your purpose is and what your calling is, oftentimes what happens is the things that trouble you the most, irritate you the most, bother you or concern you, or that you hate the most are the things that begin to well up in your spirit and the things that you find yourself becoming confronted with. For instance, Mother Teresa, she had a visceral hate for seeing children abused or in lack. And in that, she found her purpose of healing children, caring for children. Moses had a visceral hatred for slavery, even though he was born and raised to have servants and slaves. But when he saw a slave being whipped, this visceral hatred for this welled up in him. It's the same with Jesus for injustice. So what things have you prayed for and asked God for? Stop just expecting them to happen, but look for the answered prayer. Look for the things he's placed in your path, the things that bother you, the things that bring you joy, the things that make you feel drawn to or connected to. These are more often answers to your prayer. You ask God to bless your finances. He does not just pour money from the sky, but what he does is he puts opportunities in your path to make more money. It goes to any particular situation. So don't just pray and expect. Pray and look. Look for answered prayer. Go master the day. Remember to be awesome. We are forever reaching beyond.